work like that. Let's keep it like that. Hey man, if you're out there, hey man, how you doing? If you were out there, join up just a few minutes. Let's just talk about this criticism, this hate, this shade that people throw at you because of what you want to do. I'm listening to one of my favorite songs here by Janet Manyo. It's called Zazisa. Oh man, I don't know about you, but for those of you joining me for just a few minutes, hi Irene Maisami, how you doing? Gerard Tatsarwa, how you doing? Njoma Tawana, how you doing? Thanks for joining me. Bekezela Ngwe, thank you for joining me. It's good to see you. Rosa Magadza, you're there. Romy Bridget Magwa, how you doing? She's in Australia. That's awesome. Albert Nyamayaro, hey, how you doing? Calvin Bada, how you doing? People who want to do big and amazing things for themselves. Hello, how you guys doing? I'm having one of those days where I am just sick and tired. I'm just sick and tired with people that want to criticize you for things that they themselves are not prepared to do. And I find this amazing. Molin, Nyaradza Marufu, thanks for joining me, guys. This is awesome. And someone says people are struggling, no water, please. And we'll get to that. But I want to just talk for a few minutes with you if you're there to listen. And I'm talking to you as a friend, as just someone who cares and someone who is watching people trying to become what they really want to become on the inside. You know, we live in a world where it's a world where people are tuned more to criticize than they are tuned to encourage. That people really love to see a failure. This is one of the strangest phenomena I've ever seen. People themselves are afraid to do certain things, but they are waiting for people to fail. They want people to fail. Yeah, this is Maria Adonis Rusik. It's good to see you. Good to have you. Henry Hakulandaba, it's good to see you. Good to have you. You cannot listen, guys. If you're gonna do, and I know this from experience. Daphne T. Jenner, it's good to have you. Ariza D, it's good to see you. People are waiting to destroy those people that are doing some of the biggest things that will change the lives of people around them in their own life. Do not let people criticize you out of doing your dream. Don't let people be negative about what you are doing, and yet they don't have the guts themselves to do what you are doing. I'm tired of people, and you know they call it constructive criticism. Have you ever heard someone talk about constructive criticism? It's a lie. It's a lie. Constructive criticism only comes from people who really love you, people who are close to you, people who will encourage you when there's no one else around. Everyone else is just lying and just hating, especially on Twitter, on Facebook. There's a lot of people that come out to just hate. They just come out to just hate. Now, Iwewe, you need to make up your mind. Are you doing what you are doing because you want to do it or because you are pleasing other people? Huh? Do it because you believe it. Do it because it'll change your life. Do it because it'll change your family's life. Do it because it'll change your nation's life. But don't do it to please people or to get people happy, because people will never be happy. I find this amazing that there are people that will criticize you and hate you simply because they want to feel better about their own state of doing nothing. Kumbirai Nixon, good afternoon, Pastor. How you doing? Tatenda Ashley Mikishoni, how you doing? Asha Thacker, how you doing? So if you're going to be doing something big, you're stepping into an arena. Here's one of the things that's going to be a constant companion. Failure is going to be a constant companion, because you are doing something that have never, ever experienced failure because they do nothing. But they love to criticize. They love to be negative to those people who are actually doing something. I've enjoyed my journey that I've walked over it's been 3 years now. For 3 years, I have been in and out of prison, in and out of court. I was just in court yesterday. Today I'm here, I'm at a hospital waiting for my dad who's in hospital. He's been sick for for weeks and months. People don't know the parts of your life that you have to put up with, that you are on your own when that pain comes. And yet, when you put yourself out there to say, this is what I'm trying to do, this is what I'm trying to achieve, they're out there with machetes, they're out there to try and destroy you. Here's what I find amazing about the world that we live in. It is more tuned in to criticize an idea than it is to encourage an idea, especially in Africa, especially in Zimbabwe. Let me talk about Zimbabwe because that's where I'm from. People are waiting for someone who has a big idea, who has a big dream, to throw stones at that idea instead of to encourage that idea. This is no wonder some of our best thinkers, our biggest dreamers leave. They leave the country and they go and they develop their dreams elsewhere, because here we don't seem to want people to crawl out of the pit that we are in. When someone starts to crawl out of the pit, we pull them back down. The joy that people have from pulling someone down. Have you ever seen someone being trolled on Twitter? Have you ever seen someone being laughed at on Facebook or on Twitter? Or someone being mocked by groups, by hordes of people? It's as if they gather in an arena and they throw you in the middle of this mock arena and they laugh. And they just start to tear you down. They laugh at the way you look. They laugh at what you're saying. They laugh at what you're doing. They laugh at your idea. They laugh at your plans. They just laugh at everything just because it's fun to laugh at it. But understand this. There are always more people. Please understand this. Catch this. There are always more people that are sitting in the arena watching than there are people in the arena playing. When you go to a soccer match, or any game for that matter, the people that are outside the arena are more than the ones that are inside. Now, whilst at a soccer game, people are playing for the fans and playing and playing for the fans to enjoy. In life, you don't play for the pews, you don't play for the arena, you play for you play for your legacy, you play for your future, you play for the mission, the purpose that you are on. I'm just, today just sitting here thinking about my dad and what he's been able to do. I mean, he's not dead, he's alive. He's having quite a serious procedure being done. I'm thinking about what he's been able to accomplish, what he's been able to achieve, what he has taught me about believing in myself, what he has taught me about stepping out and making sure that I do the things that I believe in. Shame. A shame storm. People love shaming people. It's a sport. Shaming people has become a sport. There are people that exist on social media to just shame people. The shamers, they create shame storms. And then they laugh, they take screenshots, and the screenshots go around of your shame. The screenshots go around of your struggle. The screenshots go around of your pain. The screenshots go around of your vulnerability, because you've been vulnerable enough to say to people, this is what I want to do. I'm stepping out and I'm going for it. And people share it and they laugh. That's the world we live in today. If you're going to be a big dreamer, if you're going to be someone that steps out to change the world, understand that there are more mockers out there than there are encouragers. Therefore, the first source of encouragement should always come from the inside. Now, I'm a Christian, and I love to encourage people and get them to understand that your encouragement comes from within and not without. What you get that comes from outside is a bonus. We have to change. Those of you that are around big dreamers, those of you that are around people that are trying to achieve something, those of you that are around people that are trying to do something great, take time to encourage. Invest in encouragement than you do invest in criticism. Again, if you're just joining us, I understand the aspect of constructive criticism, but a lot of it is a facade. A lot of it is hiding behind constructive criticism so that you can just throw shade at someone who's trying to do something with their lives. Why do we not encourage people? Why do we not build people up? We find it easier to tear people down. And part of what I've learned is this, is that a lot of people who criticize people are failing to deal with their own failure. They're finding it hard to deal with their own failure. And that's why they do that. There's a lot of people that are coming online here. Let me say, this is someone I've always wanted to talk to. This name is Adam. If I'm not mistaken, this is Jaman. Jaman, you and see if you're on there. But and I've watched this guy from afar. I've seen him do a bunch of things. I've seen him step out doing a whole bunch of things. And it's amazing how many people are ready to criticize. It's amazing how many people are ready to pull you down and to tear you down. And I figured it out. I figured it out. A lot of people are willing to tear you down because they can't deal with their own failure. German, how you doing? Oh man, I think my signal is weak here. I can't hear you. So the fact that they themselves are failures, or the fact that they themselves can't dream past their pocket, or the fact that they themselves can't dream past their last failure, they think that no one else has the right to dream bigger than them. They think that no one else has the right to do bigger things than them. They think that they own the rights to dreaming big. They own the rights to achieving big. It's just not true. Kio, how you doing? Just seen a good friend of mine here. So I'll talk to you later. So you have to understand that people in many cases are dealing with their own insecurity. They're dealing with their own inability to go past where they are. They're dealing with the fears that they have, and so they project those fears onto you. And then I'm tired of people that think that they have a right, just because you are on social media, or just because you are on Facebook or Instagram, they think that they have a right to just come and denigrate you, or denigrate your dream, or denigrate your future, or say things about you that they don't understand. There are people that, how many of you watch Tiger Woods come back? Tiger Woods is one of the greatest comebacks in sporting history. And yet the world had written this man off. And he just proved everyone wrong. He just did his thing. You've got to do the same. There are people around you now, they're waiting for you to say something. And a lot of us, we are stuck waiting. They're not able to do or say anything because we're afraid that these people, these groups of people, these fear cartels will tear us down. And I call them that, fear cartels. There are groups of people on Facebook, there are groups of people on Twitter who have given themselves the right to speak into people's lives. They've given themselves the right to tear people down who are doing their thing. Encourage people. Now you can discuss people's lives, you can discuss what they're doing, but find a way to encourage somebody. We will have great achievers in this land and in other lands when people step up, when people step up to encourage those people. Years ago, I watched an interview. I'm gonna try and bring Adam back on again. Years ago, I watched one of the greatest golfers to come out of Zimbabwe. His name was Nick Price, and I watched Nick Price on CNN. And one of the things he said on this CNN program, he said, "I've been given many awards by many countries and by many organizations and by many institutions, but the one I value the most is the one that I will get from my own country, Zimbabwe, if I get one." Adam, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks, Pastor. How are you?
I'm doing good, my friend. It's so good to see you, man. How are things?
Yeah, not too bad. Sorry, I'm looking a bit rougher. You know, as farmer guys, we don't do much. We sit around and just like act scruffy. So
Adam, I'm just talking here about this. This, for me, it's nonsense. People,
hmm
especially for us Zimbabweans, we don't. I have my feeling, and I could be wrong. I feel like we don't encourage each other enough. We
fact.
just don't. We sit and we are ready to laugh at somebody. And in fact, most of us will wait for someone to start something and we'll rub our hands and say, here comes some criticism content for Facebook or for
Yeah.
Twitter. And we're surprised when our best minds leave, or when our best minds go and get citizenship for another country and do it there
hmm
instead of.
Yeah, yeah. You know, to be honest, I'm probably guilty for that. Um, but however, I've never meant it maliciously. So at times, possibly I have. You know, I'm being truthful. I'm being very honest. Yeah. You know,
But thank you.
so sometimes, you know, I see something. Although I've gotten a lot better, and I try and do it more of in a positive way and a joking way. But going back to what you
Mhm.
said, as in people don't encourage others. You know, that's just like been a Zimbabwean thing for so long. Nobody wants anybody to do better than them. Nobody wants to encourage them in any way. You know, a couple of days ago, I put out a post saying, you know, congratulating AC Lumumba for
Uh-huh.
doing good as to what he's doing now, because you know I always used to go hard on him. I always used to talk about him and things that he does, and purely because I
Right.
saw that there was a talent in him that he wasn't utilizing in the right way. So
Right.
some might have thought of it being malicious or whatever you saw, but I was doing it more in a jokingly way, and in a way that I would like for him to in hope that it will come across, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
it'll be seen as positive. However, he never once got offended with anything that I said, and
Right. Right.
some of the things, one or two of the times was pretty nasty, you know, and you know, nevertheless, probably because
Of
of my
course.
frustration with the guy because of the talent that he does have. However, the other day I congratulated him and I said it's
Well done.
fantastic, it's really great,
Well,
and I
well
wish
done.
I wish for him for all his new success, because the way he's going about himself now is absolutely fantastic. You know, I like to see that sort of thing, and it's just a totally new person. So that's
Mm-hmm.
great to see. And like you're saying, you know, it's very important to encourage people in whatever they do. You know, I find it fantastic when people do well.
Of course,
It's
yeah.
nice.
And you know what, Adam? I'm not saying that people shouldn't give advice or shouldn't give, constructive criticism. I'm just saying that
Yeah,
we have to understand that we live in a world that is wired to be more negative than it is to be positive.
totally.
Particularly, and again, I can't speak for Americans, I can't speak for Swedes, I can't speak for Kenyans, I can speak for Zimbabweans, because this is the environment I live in. And I find that in the things that I have done or things I am doing, or even people around me, the things that they're doing, a lot of people do things in secret. And one of the reasons they're doing them in secret or not even doing them at all is because of the fear of what their fellow countrymen will say, the fear
Mm,
of how
yeah,
people will drag them in the mud, or how people will even bring up their past to prove that they're going to fail in what they're doing right now. And it just shocks me that we spend that
yeah,
kind of energy, that amount of energy, just to drag someone through the mud because it's fun for everyone else to do, you know?
yeah.
And I have a friend of mine who has an amazing business that they were starting. And when they first put their idea out, they were actually trolled. And then he left and went to another country. I won't say his name, because I don't think he wants to be mentioned. And that business has exploded. He's done so well, because the first thing that happened when he stepped out with the idea, he had a bunch of people that came to him and they said, "Is there any way we can that we can help in making this thing happen?" And in a few short months, this thing had taken off. So I'm saying that
Mm,
besides the economic problems we have in Zimbabwe, besides the issues we have with our governance, whether or not you think there is a governance problem in Zimbabwe, besides that, we are starting to have a social problem. And part of our
ex-
social problem is just this problem of being negative about everyone, being negative about those amongst us who are trying to do something, even either for themselves or for the country. And that has got to change, guys. It just has
yeah.
to change.
It's been the case for so long now. It's you know, I'll even go back to when I was a teenager. It's always been there. It's always been there. People do not want others to come up, and I mean, you know, even when you go into business with fellow Zimbabweans,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it never works smoothly, regardless of what type of relationship you have with that person. There's always some type of snag because they want to be better than you, or they want to
Or they
be
want a bigger share of it.
the biggest share of it, the ultimate kingpin player, in the one who came up with the ideas, the one who did this, the one who did that. And
Mm-hmm.
you know,